Thank you for listening to my Postdoc Transformation Show. Maybe you want to leap out of science and start your own side business as a runway for your better future? Then you will benefit from my free business preparation quiz as linked in the show notes. If you want to organize your marketing and selling efforts, please also subscribe to my new video podcast show, Creating Reorganized. I share my tricks from creating this show, speak with business owners who run a podcast for their business, and learn from podcasting service providers about their tools boosting our businesses. My new video podcast show, Creating Reorganized, will also be a living example of applied industrial and occupational psychology for my students in real life. And now, let's get to this episode. Postdoc Transformation. Postdoc Transformation. Postdoc Transformation. Dear Postdoc Transformer, welcome back to another episode of the Postdoc Transformation Show for the scientists leaping into business. Do you know that I love roller coasters? Yes, in my previous life, I have had a lot of roller coaster rides. And why do I love roller coasting? Well, it's a calculated and hence apparently safe thrill for me. And this feeling of onboarding a roller coaster that is slightly too high was a very similar feeling when I left my lab coat at my university and then started to wear business suits as an IT analyst. I knew that other scientists have also leaped successfully before me. And I also felt like standing with my back at the wall and there was no other way to go forward. So I had to onboard into my own new business career. There was nothing else to do. And I have not regretted it once. Yes, I boomeranged back eventually to academia to be appointed as a professor for industrial and occupational psychology at an applied university. And I have dedicated an episode to all of you who may want to come back one day, as linked in the show notes. But I never stopped being in and building my own business. So let me be your guide on your postdoc transformation, because if you are ready to shake off those academic anxieties and step into a future that truly excites you, I know there will be a future for you that is brighter than today's presence. And today we're going to be diving headfirst into our biggest fears that may also be keeping you as a brilliant scientist stuck in the academic comfort zone, even when you know in your gut it's time for something new. I'm talking about this, feeling a little voice whispering, you don't know enough, you're not qualified, you need another degree, another certification, another 5 years of learning before you can even think of making that leap into business. And I do know that voice. It's the voice of the imposter syndrome, a sneaky little devil that loves to tell high achievers like you and me that we're just not good enough, no matter how many degrees we have already under our belt or how many papers you have published or so. It's like that time you submitted a paper and you knew it was solid. You double-checked everything, but still had that tiny voice in your head saying, are the reviewers going to believe that I did this? Well, you know what? Imposter syndrome will follow you also in the business world because it's all in your head. But here's the hilarious and also liberating truth, my dear postdoc transformer. Everyone feels this. Even people who have been running multinational corporations for decades still get that flutter of, am I really qualified for that? Do I know everything I need? But you with your PhD and your rigorous pursuit of knowledge are uniquely equipped to tackle this. If you are a returning postdoc transformer, you know my favorite part of each episode, which is my Postdoc Transformation Show avatar mantra. And you can be sure to listen to it later as my original recording. But for now, let me put it this way. You are a brilliant scientist. You are armed with years of academic knowledge, capable of complex problem solving, meticulous data analysis, critical thinking, and strategic planning. Honestly, all of these skills are the ones that businesses are desperately seeking as future-proof skills. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode.
I want to share with you my best marketing agent. Serving my underprivileged, underrepresented, and underserved audience, leads and clients is key for me as an Asian working mom, business owner, and professor in Germany. But I can't be marketing and selling all the time, and I have to be mindful with my own resources. So I chose Podbean as my podcasting host and monetizing provider. I'm on the Unlimited Plus plan for our PostdocTransformation Show and Creating Reorganized Show. With Podbean, your audience can inclusively listen and watch your podcast according to their visual and auditive needs. You can also embed your customized podcast player on your external website or use one of the beautiful website templates. You can easily share your podcast on all major podcasting directories, which allow you to reach a huge audience on their favorite devices in their countries. Podbean also has an ads marketplace, and you can easily attract and manage sponsors for dynamic ads, which are played out depending on your audience criteria. This way, you can serve your audience for free. Some of them become your clients eventually, but your advertising sponsors independently support you financially in each episode. You will see insightful stats per demographic and which episodes attracted most listeners, so you can tailor your future episodes for your leads and clients and present suitable external ads. If you want to try out Podbean for your own podcasting, DM or email me Podbean so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Podbean link.
After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. You don't have to believe me. I invite you to listen to our other episodes on the future of work, where exactly these kind of skills are the future-proof skills, and I will link to that episode in the show notes, of course. But back to you. So you're now secretly terrified that your specialized research expertise won't be enough in business. Maybe you are thinking of getting a new shiny MBA, another certification, before you can even think of making a move into business. You believe the business world speaks a completely different language, and you are stuck speaking in LaTeX and Python and obscure scientific jargon like R or something like that. So the picture I now have is like you are a highly specialized deep sea diver, suddenly asked to pilot a spaceship. Well, and you're thinking, but where are my gills to breathe on my new mission? And that's because you're not yet realizing that breathing works totally different in the deep sea versus in space. And I remember that feeling so vividly. In my PhD in neuroscience, I was so focused on neural pathways, on designing intricate experiments. I was very proud of them. And getting those papers published. I did get them published. But, that was a currency that was worthless in business. And having to find a well-paid job outside of academia, so specifically the idea of jumping into IT at Aldi South, it honestly felt like jumping off a cliff without a parachute, directly into a pool of acronyms I didn't understand. And my mind was screaming, you don't know enough. You're going to embarrass yourself in front of people who speak return on investment instead of ANOVA. And my mind was screaming, you don't know enough. You're going to fail, of course. And what were you thinking? You achieved so much, and now you want to start over and feel like stupid again? You're going to embarrass yourself in front of people who think raw or real, or what is it? Hey, before we continue, we want to appreciate those who finance this valuable episode for you. And once you have determined your readiness to leap and want to transition into business or industries, then you can enroll in your free email course with 10 actionable, bingeable email lessons until you start your job in business. You'll get 10 emails like this. Number 1, how to leap out of science. Number 2, how to build your sustainable LinkedIn profile. Number 3, how to read social media and network. Number 4, how to research your favorite jobs and employers.
Number 5, how to do informational interviews to get insights. Number 6, how to create your customized applications with ChatGPT. Number 7, how to prepare your thesis from a business point of view. Number 8, how to apply to your favorite employers. Number 9, how to choose the right job offer. Number 10, how to prepare for your new job. And did you know that we offer deep dive e-course workshops and memberships at graduate schools, maybe also at yours in the future? Ask your graduate school coordinator whether they want to book my services so that I can deliver them to you 24/7, 365 on your mobile device. And even better, if you get us paid by your grad school, we will pay you 50% recurring sales commissions. So you will earn money with us as we help you and your PhD besties to transition into business. We can build a postdoc transformation together. Woohoo!
After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. It was genuinely terrifying. I mean, my background was psychology and neuroscience, not really business or IT. So it was like the complete opposite. But like I said, I was offered the job, and so somebody believed in me. I had to bet on myself as well. And I actually recorded an episode, which I will link in the show notes for you to find out. But back to you, and listen closely because this is crucial. Your drive, your analytical thinking, your tireless problem solving, and your sheer grit that you have developed in academia will be key for your success in business. Every single day in your research, you were learning, adapting, pushing boundaries, failing, iterating, and pushing again, all by yourself mostly, if you have been socialized in toxic academia. And that is the very definition of a growth mindset, as coined by the brilliant Professor Dr. Carol Dweck. It's the belief that your abilities can be developed by dedication and hard work. That's you. And it's not fixed. And I will link to her must-see YouTube video in the show notes because she is truly inspiring. As a researcher, you've been living and breathing a growth mindset your entire academic career. Even if you did not call it like that, you already know how to learn new things and become an expert. Now you just switch the topic and you become an expert again. So here's your actionable prompt. I want you to take 15 minutes and list 3 to 5 transferable skills from your research that are not tied to your specific scientific niche. Think broadly. Did you manage a complex research project with multiple stakeholders and deadlines? Well, that's project management. Did you analyze vast and complex data sets and present compelling findings? That's data analytics and strategic communication. Maybe you did secure research grants. Well, that's fundraising and proposal writing. Now, here's then the fun part. Hop onto LinkedIn, which is your sandbox for business, and search for job descriptions in your desired business field. See how many of these skills you have identified. I bet you will be wonderfully surprised at how much you already bring to the table. If you think you just bring 60% or 75% to the table, well, apply anyway. And speaking of LinkedIn, make sure that your profile reflects these amazing transferable skills. It's your new professional storefront. Don't be shy. Let your light shine, especially if you are a woman. And by the way, I am not an affiliate partner of LinkedIn, and I still have a free account. So believe me, you don't need a paid subscription to benefit from most LinkedIn goodies for your own career transition. But do you feel that your comfortable academic world starts to feel a little bit constraining? Maybe the funding never seems quite enough. Maybe the politics is getting a little bit too much. Or maybe you are yearning for more tangible, direct impact from your hard-won knowledge. And to be honest, if you just want to earn more money, that's also your pink slip. You might even start vaguely searching for jobs outside of academia and feeling that familiar pull towards something new, but the not knowing enough monster holds you back. I've recorded a couple of future work episodes where I highlight which industries and roles are actually future-proof. So I hope that you will also listen to them in your search for jobs outside of academia. So what is this imposter syndrome, the not knowing enough monster that holds you back? It tells you to stay put and play small, to stick with the devil you know, even if that devil wears tweed and smells faintly of stale coffee, is more in the museum instead of in the future. But what if I told you that this exact feeling tells you that you are on the verge of something incredible? It means you are pushing against your comfort zone, and that's precisely where all the magic happens. Believe me, I have never looked back. So when I was pregnant in 2013, already working as an IT strategy consultant at Accenture, the opportunity arose to be appointed as a professor for industrial and occupational psychology at an applied university. It was not a big leap. Why? Because I strategically was already preparing for that, boomeranging back to academia on my terms. After a couple of years in business, I was intellectually bored, and hence for a semester I taught an introductory course in psychology for business students. I enjoyed it, and I was offered a professorship because I already had a PhD under my belt. So when I finally fell pregnant, I already had built a parachute or safety net. It was, to me, a natural progression to help others make similar transitions between academia and business and also back. So it was all about leveraging what I already know while being unafraid to learn what I didn't. And I used my skills in a new context. And guess what? The world did not end. I leaped out, it was okay. I leaped back, it was also okay. It got a lot more interesting, and I stand today with both feet in IT and business, but also academia. And I wouldn't want it any other way. So if you want to learn more about my career transition, I actually recorded a looking back episode for National Postdoc Appreciation Week in 2023. I published that also as an episode number 2, as linked in the show notes. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. Have you found this episode so far helpful for yourself? Well, maybe you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, or wherever you get our show. And also share this episode with your PhD bestie, because that would encourage us to help the underprivileged, underrepresented, and underserved early career scientists leaping into business. This would also ensure that you don't miss a future episode. Also, our subscription and listening numbers are key for finding the right sponsors for our show so that we can help you for free. I want to share with you my time and energy saver. As a professor for industrial and occupational psychology, I also teach about the future of work, and as a former IT strategy consultant, of course, I embrace AI to be a future-proof podcast producer of the PostdocTransformation Show and the Creating Reorganized Show. Descript is the video and audio podcast editing tool of my choice. I pay for their creator plan, and it's worth every dollar. Descript comes with an integrated professional remote recording studio for the best audio quality for your guests and you. For example, I record an hour interview with a guest or a solo, and instead of painstakingly doing a rough cut and deleting all the ums and ahs and filler words and rambling around, which I did for hours, I now click on Descript's AI, editing for clarity, and my rough cut is done in seconds or a minute. For fine-tuning, I edit text instead of audio waves, and I just insert all my pre-recorded music, intro, ads, and outro, like this one, in a matter of minutes. I can then easily export closed captions, fine-tune AI-driven summaries, chapter markers, and titles, which I feed into my show notes and podcast host. Descript even suggests the best clips for social media, and their video editor automatically includes the synchronized speakers' cameras and audio captions. I can also include stock graphics or pre-recorded videos. You can find our short-form examples on our Instagram and TikTok at PostdocTransformation. If you want to try out Descript for your own podcast editing, DM or email me, Descript, so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out
via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Descript link. And now, back to the show.
Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. Most of my coachees sooner or later come back for career coaching after I have helped them to leap into business. And this is why. If they are applying their scientific knowledge or at least mindset in business, it feels to them messy, so unpredictable, so non-sciencey. They wonder, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? How can I navigate through this uncertainty? Let me assure you, maybe your future you, it's not you. It's the business landscape that you have entered. So now we'll zoom into a more powerful theory from the learning sciences, and it's called cognitive flexibility theory, developed by Spiro et al. This psychological concept suggests that the ability to switch between different concepts and tasks and adapt behavior to changing situations is crucial for your success in business. I know it's from 1992, and hence it could be called old, yes, but it's fundamental for every scientist leaping into business, and you can find the reference in the show notes, of course. So, as a scientist, you've been doing this your whole life, adapting your research questions, your methods, your interpretations based on new data. And that same flexibility is now your key to navigating the business world, which is, let's be honest, often chaotic and ever-changing. Now, this theory is originally meant to help learners deal with complex, ill-structured domains like medicine, history, or literary interpretation. But it turns out that this theory also explains beautifully why the business world feels so fundamentally different from academia. And more importantly, it helps you understand how to succeed in it before you leap into business, which is gold, right? So hence, this is an episode you may want to bookmark for later when you are in your first 100 days of your new job. So what are ill-structured domains and why is business one of them? Let me take you back to your academic roots. Maybe you were trained in a field like biology, physics, chemistry, or psychology. These are, at first glance, well-structured domains. Rules, formulas, controlled experiments. There are clear beginnings, middles, and end. And all operators are clear. That's very easy to understand. Quote unquote easy. But the moment you go deeper into applying knowledge into real-life situations, you start to feel the chaos. Even in science, the world does not behave like a clean lab. And business? Well, market excellence, innovation, and especially thought and people leadership in these AI times are great examples for ill-structured domains. In business, every situation is unique. The same product can flop in one market and fly in another. There are no fixed rules. Context is everything. You deal with market behavior, customer emotions, team dynamics, regulations, finance, and even unpredictable global events, all at once. And that's where cognitive flexibility theory comes in. So one could ask why most scientists struggle in business, and it's not their fault. According to cognitive flexibility theory, structured domains have two characteristics, and maybe you already recognize them from today. Number one, conceptual complexity. Many ideas, perspectives, and structures interact all at once. Number two, case-to-case irregularity. What works in one situation often does not work in another, even if they seem very similar. And does that now sound scary? Well, add speed and decision-making under uncertainty. And that's business in a nutshell. Hey, before we continue, we want to appreciate those who finance this valuable episode for you.
I want to share with you my number one lead generator, and you can start that even without a podcast. its Typeform, and I use them to create free quizzes with open questions and multiple choice answers. I also predefine mandatory answers so I can qualify and score leads, collect their email addresses for later nurturing. I can brand my quizzes, for example, my Check Your Readiness to Leap Out of Science quiz, with my audio and video files, so this way I can share specific podcast episodes or other information based on their answers, and then automatically send them an email after submitting the quiz. I even included a calendar invite for those leads who qualify specifically. So now I can help everyone on the surface for free and divert my valuable time only to my high-ticket leads on a deep level. I collect all the data automatically after my initial setup, as I have also integrated it with my remaining tech stack. If you want to try out Typeform for your own lead generation and qualification, DM or email me Typeform so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become the customer using my Typeform link.
After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. Now, that's a problem for us scientists, right? Most of us were trained with oversimplified models. We need to find a huge data set to be able to be confident decision makers. We need to think in tidy categories, apply formulas, delete outliers, control for whatever. But there is no control for reality. But in business, that leads to what cognitive flexibility theory calls reductive bias. We try to put everything in little boxes too much. We try to apply the same model everywhere as 100%. We do not adapt fast enough. Also, we fail to transfer our knowledge to new messy situations, not because we're not smart, but because we were not trained to be flexible. Now, this model is a constructivist approach, so it helps you to do something differently. And here's what I love about that. It doesn't tell you throw everything away and start from zero, but instead reassemble what you already know differently. And that's called the double constructivist view. Number one, you construct understanding in the moment, and number two, then you construct the knowledge you need from fragments instead of retrieving some ready-to-use, ready-made solutions. In other words, you stop asking, what's the one correct answer? And instead you start asking, which parts of what I know can I creatively combine for this specific business case? So that's a shift. I stop here because you have not yet leaped into business, but I want to prepare you for your successful postdoc transformation. If you want a dedicated episode on how to use the cognitive flexible theory for you as a scientist in business, let me know. So instead, of course, I want you now to use the cognitive flexibility theory for playing around with AI to start your own business side project. Maybe you are thinking you want to be more business ready. You're not there yet. Why not partner with AI tools that force you to reassemble your scientific knowledge for developing and testing business applications of your research? You can use agentic AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Gamma, Perplexity AI, or Notion AI, just to give you some opportunities that don't just give you answers, but help you remix, refine, and rethink. You can use them to test multiple perspectives, generate diverse scenarios, and prepare for the unpredictability of business life. Remember, AI is not replacing your thinking. It is your co-pilot in navigating the unknown. And speaking of preparation, I want you to now expect already the following. For when you have leaped into business, you will adapt to business. And that uncomfortable tension of adaptation is not failure, it's growth. It's cognitive flexibility in action, okay? You are not just transferring your knowledge, you are transforming yourself. And because your postdoc transformation will take place, you can already train for that, anticipating what will happen by following my actionable prompts. I want you to think about a time in your academic career where you had to pivot, learn a new technique on the fly, or solve a problem outside of your immediate expertise. How did you approach it? What resources did you use? What did you learn about yourself, learning how to adapt? Take those strategies and imagine applying them to your side business. For example, when my PCR machine broke, I did not give up. I troubleshooted, researched alternatives, and found a workaround. That's problem solving under pressure. How can I use that today? You can start actively looking for online courses or industry reports that might give you a taste of business concepts. And platforms like Thinkific are a fantastic resource for this, allowing you to sample short courses on marketing, finance, or leadership. It's like a scientific experiment just for your own career. And here are some of my best practices to overcome imposter syndrome that I discuss with my coaches too. Number 1, a success journal. Collect your success and growth moments with dates, context, people involved, their reactions, and maybe even compliments for your performance. What may have been the success factors, why that success matters to you, and how you can maybe repeat that in a similar context. You need to schedule a success journal date every quarter or semester in your teaching downtime, because I guarantee you, you will never find enough time for that, unless you have already scheduled that in your diary. Hey, before we continue, we want to appreciate those who finance this valuable episode for you.
If you want a relatively passive income, creating a paid e-course as your service is a great option, especially if you are like me, an experienced teacher in higher education and now want to share even more knowledge and create a paid membership with live group meetings beyond the e-course. Offering an e-course is a no-brainer, and Thinkific is an AI-infused learning management system which is a dream for every educator. After setting up an e-course and our membership, you also need to market and sell your e-course. And that's when lead generation with Typeform and podcasting via Descript and Podbean can complement you well. If you want to try out Thinkific for creating your own e-course and membership, DM or email me Thinkific so I can share my experience or consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Thinkific link.
Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. Number 2, be your own cheerleader. No one can uplift you more than yourself. In that context, I recorded an episode about start betting on yourself, as linked in the show notes. Number 3, stop self-sabotage. No one can hit you harder like yourself. So when you start something new, give yourself grace. You must embrace failure before achieving mastery. So be kind to yourself, maybe as kind as you would be to your loved ones. You also deserve compassion. And number 4, goal setting. Okay, I have recorded a couple of episodes on how to set realistic and attractive goals, and you can find them all in the show notes. And related to number 4 is, what is the optimal outcome, considering your circumstances? You know, some of us have more privileges or challenges than others. So success is not created equal. And I want you to be compassionate with yourself. Number 6, hire a career coach if you need help. The best, reach to the top with the help of others. Reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness, it's strength. And maybe now you think, well, I don't have the financial means to hire a career coach. Well, let's talk about a mentor that you don't have to pay. In your academic journey, you had supervisors, postdocs, senior researchers who guided you. And in the business context, the mentor might not always be a formal mentor sitting across from you, be your supervisor. Sometimes it's the resources, tools, the communities that empower you to take the next step. Or maybe it's this PostdocTransformation Show. These are the guides to show you the path to overcome that not knowing enough monster, the imposter syndrome. Most of us are willing to share their expertise with you if you ask well-prepared questions. For example, you can ask me all your career transition questions, and I will gladly record and answer as a future episode. I just cannot coach you for free one-on-one. But help can also come in a different form. Think about technology. Okay, so knowing what you want to achieve, you can use technology to be more efficient and effective. My journey from a university to Accenture, the global technology and management consulting company, and then to becoming a professor at an applied university and now a podcaster on top, has been incredibly reliant on tech. Why? Because I believe in leveraging technology for automatic data flow, set and forget capabilities, saving time, reducing errors, and creating my own AI sandbox. And it's also about showing my own students, especially women, how we can absolutely capitalize on technology to build our own business. For instance, when I produce this podcast, I use Podbean for hosting, and it's like the perfect academic repository for your audio, but for the world to hear, and even also for video now. And for editing, my video and audio Descript is the absolute go-to asset. It uses AI to edit audio like text. It's like having a super smart research assistant who cleans up your data within a few clicks. It's a literal game changer, especially for anyone who, like me, prefers writing to fiddling with audio waves. I don't want to do that. If you can edit a Word document, you can edit a video podcast with Descript. And this leads us to the future of work and AI. Many of you feel like AI is a threat or just something for tech giants. But for you, the analytical minds, AI is an incredible opportunity. It's about augmenting your existing skills, not replacing them. Imagine using AI tools to quickly research market trends, summarizing complex reports, summarizing understanding, and even drafting initial business proposals. It's about working smarter, not harder. Here's your actionable prompt. Dedicate 1 hour this week to explore a new AI tool relevant to your business side project. You don't have to try to master that within an hour. I just want you to play with it. See what it can do. And this hands-on experience will demystify AI and how you can use your assistant in conquering the not knowing enough area of business. Don't make the same mistake like one of my students. To my surprise, he said, I tried Google Bard in 2023 and it sucked. I don't use AI at all. Okay, let me tell you what I told him. AI developments come weekly, or sometimes new models seem to be released daily in an innovation race. I used to play around with new AI in every season break to improve my podcasting. But to be honest, I think I should be testing out new AI features weekly for content creation or video or audio editing. And now over to you, dear Postdoc Transformer. I will insert my avatar affirmation for you, and I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I do.
Remember, you are a postdoc transformer. You are highly intelligent, well-educated, a bachelor, master, and maybe you have already your doctor under your belt, or you are a postdoc. You are internationally experienced, fluent in English, a leader and expert in your prior research field. You're resilient, brilliant in adaptation and problem solving. You are eager to bring in the transferable and monetizable skills needed in many companies to embrace the future and to become or remain an innovator in their markets. So far, you have learned all my favorite marketing and sales tools. Now, How can you bring all the data from your audience, leads, and clients together so you can serve them on a value ladder and for the long term? Even after multiple touchpoints with you, you want to remain on their mind for when they are ready to buy your service or product. I'm expanding my digital business, and I use ActiveCampaign as the centerpiece of all my services like email course, podcast, newsletter, show notes, website, sales page, merch shop, forms, whatever it is, as needed. As a former IT strategy consultant, I have high requirements on my tech stack, and ActiveCampaign offers so many integrations to all my other apps. I use it daily. If you want to create your own digital business with the various AI-driven lead magnets and funnel options, DM or email me, ActiveCampaign, so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. Again, I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my ActiveCampaign link. Are you wondering when and where you can get the attention of your audience? You always think you don't have the time for posting on multiple social media platforms. I totally get you. I have been enjoying weeks of social media breaks during the school breaks while I served my audience with prepared content to be scheduled out as needed. Ideally, you have just derived countless social media content from your one video podcast episode. Even without a podcast, with Metricool, the Swiss Army knife for your social media management, you can create and schedule your content in advance, according to the best posting times based on your followers. For campaigns across many days or weeks, I capitalize on their auto list and repeat features so I can focus on the important things according to my vision of life. If you want to schedule your content on social media, DM or email me, Metricool, so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. Again, I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Metricool link.
After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. All right. After listening, I hope you are now armed with newfound confidence and tools ready to build a bridge from academia to business. And it's not about jumping blindly. It's about strategic small steps. And I've even created a mini-series for you as a runway, episodes 56 to 60 as linked in the show notes. In short, one fantastic way to start building that bridge, even while you're still immersed in academia, is to start, drumroll, a side business. And this is your entrepreneurial sandbox. It is a low-risk way to test ideas, develop new skills, and even generate a bit of extra income. You don't need to quit your PhD or postdoc tomorrow. Finish that with grace and then leap. You can dedicate a few hours a week, learn about marketing, sales, and customer service. And this is exactly what we champion on our other podcast, Creating Reorganized. We are all about taking those entrepreneurial sparks and fanning them into flames. We've got 1,800 downloads for 8 episodes in our first season as of June 25, which might sound small, but it's about 600 individual listeners who are taking action towards their entrepreneurial dreams. And yes, you heard that correctly. All our episodes are listened multiple times, reflecting the actionable nature of our shows. Every big journey starts with a small, consistent step. We talk about building brand awareness, consistent content creation, and lead generation. All the things small business owners need. And speaking of consistent content creation, this is where effective marketing comes in. We use tools like ActiveCampaign for automated email marketing, and it's genius for automating follow-up messages and keeping our community engaged, and also helps us capture information seamlessly. For analytics, Metricool is a lifesaver. It gives me a holistic view of my social media and podcast performance. These are the tools that let you set and forget so you can focus on what you do best, which is maybe building your own business. And now, drum roll, for those of you who listen to the Creating Reorganized show and think, this podcasting, think, that sounds great. I just don't have the time or the tech know-how to produce it myself. Even though you are talking about that, I don't want to learn that. I just want to build my own business. That's it. Well, let's just say we're cooking up something really special for you. Imagine a premium white label done for you podcasting service for small business owners who understand the power of audio and video content, but want someone else, me and my team, to handle all the heavy lifting. More on that soon, but let's just say we're building the solution for your brand awareness, consistent content creation, and lead generation needs. Now, let me throw in another psychological model, theory, or concept I have already discussed in previous episodes, so I won't dovetail that in detail. It is, of course, the self-efficacy theory by Albert Bandura, and this theory states that your belief in your ability to succeed in specific situations or accomplish a task influences your motivation and behavior. And by taking small steps, like starting a side business or learning a new AI tool, you build self-efficacy. Each small success reinforces your belief that you can do this, chipping away, that imposter syndrome. Now, here's your actual prompt. If applying your science to business is not on your mind for your side business, identify a small business idea or skill you are curious about. For example, offering freelance writing, consulting on data analysis, creating an online course. Listen to the Creative Reorganized show because the more often you immerse yourself to business language, the less cringe it will feel. Then you can outline just the very first step you could take this week. Maybe it's researching a potential niche or learning a new feature in a business tool you just discovered. This is not about quitting your PhD tomorrow. It's about igniting that entrepreneurial spark and building your confidence in tiny, empowering steps at a time. So, taken together, my dear postdoc transformer, you are not defined by your academic title. You are defined by your capacity to learn, to adapt, to innovate, and to contribute in meaningful ways. The fear of not knowing enough is just a speed bump on your way to becoming the amazing business leader, entrepreneur, or corporate innovator you were meant to be. Embrace that growth mindset by Carol Dweck. Leverage your inherent cognitive flexibility by Spira et al. Build your self-efficacy by Bandura. And remember that with the right tools and a little bit of guidance, you can absolutely start building your postdoc transformation. And don't forget to check out Podbean for your podcast hosting, Descript for revolutionary AI editing, Thinkific for building courses, ActiveCampaign for email marketing, Metricool for all your analytical needs. These are the strategic partners that make my own life and business flow seamless. And don't forget to tune in next week for Networking for Introverts, Beyond the Conference Hall, Building Your Business Bridge, one authentic connection at a time, which I recorded for my younger self. Yes, you heard that correctly. I am an introvert, but I understand the importance of networking, so maybe I can teach you some hacks. Stay tuned. Have you found this episode so far helpful for yourself? Well, maybe you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, or wherever you get our show. And also share this episode with your PhD bestie because that would encourage us to help the underprivileged, underrepresented, and underserved early career scientists leaping into business. This would also ensure that you don't miss a future episode. Also, our subscription and listening numbers are key for finding the right sponsors for our show so that we can help you for free. Do you want a transcript of our episode? Click on our links in our show notes and on our website www.postdoctransformation.com. Remember to check your readiness to leap out of science and to enroll in our free email course, Career Transition Made Simple. Thanks for your attention. I'm Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, the host of your seasonal Postdoc Transformation Show. Postdoc Transformation.